Welcome to J. LeGrand Art. I'm so happy that you're here. So listen, I have a great video in store. I wanted to give you an idea of my art journey so far, where it all started. I'm gonna go way back. I mean, way back. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but sometimes I sit and wish I was a kid again. I remember way back when. Yeah, I'm that old. Don't you see these gray hairs up in here? Let's just say I wasn't born yesterday. So grab something to drink, have your water, you want to stay hydrated, and your coffee or tea. I'm a coffee girl. And stay tuned. This is going to be a long one. Pablo Picasso once said, "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once they grow up." This has been a constant battle all my life. I have wanted to be an artist for as long as I can remember. I wish I had some of my drawings when I was this age. This is a picture of my kindergarten graduation. I recall when I was in kindergarten, my classmates asking me to draw the clouds for them as they thought I drew my clouds very well. Even my kindergarten teacher told me many years later that I was very good at coloring for my age. It's funny how when you reflect on life that you can think about the smallest things, but was something really huge and impactful in your life back then. I remember when I was in kindergarten that I drew a giraffe, and my kindergarten teacher displayed it on the wall for all the parents to see one day for Meet the Teacher or some kind of art show or something to that effect. I remember receiving many praises for my giraffe drawing, and I thought it was the best thing I ever did in my life at that time. I knew from that moment on that art was something that I just had to do in my life. Age 12 was a significant turning point for me. It was the year that I started playing basketball and my first official art class. Shout out to my art teacher, Miss Monica, whom I still talk to this day. I drew this piece in her class. It is about colorism within the Black community, especially among Black women. The straight hair bob haircut is about the fact that a lot of young Black women wanted to have their hair relaxed and straight and cut into a quote-unquote style, especially during the 90s. And the 3 different shades of brown is about each woman being a different shade, but at the same time, their faces are overlapping to show unity, that no matter what shade of brown you are, that you are still considered Black, especially in the U.S. Given my life experiences up to this age, I had very strong thoughts about racism, colorism, equality, and women's rights. Those that went to school with me know exactly what I'm talking about. So I would say that this piece set the foundation of the type of artwork that I wanted to create in my life going forward. I was always fascinated with drawing people, especially portraits. This is a portrait of my aunt that I drew when I was also 12 years old. I wonder if she still has this drawing. In high school, I participated in UIL poetry. I always loved reading, writing, and reciting poetry. Even to this day, if you look at some of my other videos, you will see that I include poetry in the videos. I took every art class that my high school offered, but oftentimes art was overshadowed by my basketball career. I decided at a very young age, around 12 or 13, that if I wanted to go to college, that I need to get a basketball scholarship. I set my goals really high and pushed myself as best as I could. I even ran track in order to stay in shape for basketball. My plan was to go to college on a basketball scholarship and major in graphic design because I thought I couldn't make it as a full-time artist. I had seen the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry, and Robin Givens. Halle Berry's character was a graphic designer by day, and by night she taught art classes to inner city kids. Her character painted in her spare time, and she eventually worked her way up to art director for a major advertising company. I thought, wow, this is the best plan ever. I could create my art, give back to the community, and still make money as an artist. I was so afraid to be a quote-unquote broke, starving artist that I had to have plan A, B, C, and D. I'm currently working on plan C. Basketball was plan A. Let's just say I made it as far as I could at a small Division I university and leave it at that, because that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. However, I can never take away the many opportunities that basketball offered me. It was a great experience and a big part of my life for 10 consecutive years from age 12 to 22. If it were not for basketball, I would not be where I am today as a high school art teacher, which is why I'm so thankful to all of my coaches and all of my teachers. They made a tremendous impact on my life, and I truly believe that's why I'm a teacher that to this day, is because of all of the positive influence that my coaches and teachers gave me throughout my entire life. I also want to thank my parents for their tremendous support and help guiding me and supporting me for the many things that I wanted to pursue. I know that they made great sacrifices in order for me to accomplish my goals. And ever since I was a small child, it has been a huge goal for me to make them proud. Now, back to my art journey. I did my very best to accomplish my goal about getting a basketball scholarship. That part of the plan was accomplished. But what I didn't know is all the NCAA rules about playing sports. I went to a junior college first because I didn't make high enough on the SAT in order to get into a university. Math was always my weakness, and I just was not academically prepared for college. So junior college turned out to be a good thing for me. It helped me to get prepared for the university level. However, the junior college that I chose to attend in order to get away from home and actually live in a dorm and have a traditional college life and play under the coach that I really wanted to play for, did not have an art program. Because of the fact that I didn't know exactly how college really worked and that you had to take certain prerequisites in order to get into certain classes, I thought it was okay just to take my basics based on the advice I was given by the academic advisors. So the academic advisors encouraged me to major in general studies. I went on to receive an associate's degree in general studies, which were just my basic math, science, English, history, and other core classes. But when I went on to the university and I told them that I wanted to major in graphic design, at that time I had an athletic academic advisor, and the athletic academic advisor explained to me that according to NCAA Division I rules, you have to have so many credit hours by the time you are a junior to go towards your major, or you will be classified as a freshman. And if I was classified as a freshman, then I would not be eligible to play Division I college basketball. Therefore, I could either be redshirted or I would lose my scholarship. Unfortunately, the coaches felt that it was not a good idea to redshirt me because they needed me to play that year. So 2 days before time for registration, I am flipping through the catalog trying to figure out, like, oh my God, what am I gonna major in? I have no idea. Everything that I thought I might wanted to do, I realized that I would not be good at that. The only thing I've ever really wanted to do was art and basketball. So I'm flipping through the registration catalog, trying to find a major that has the least amount of math, because I know that I suck at math, and at that time, science also. So I stumbled across mass communications. In order to keep my scholarship, I decided to major in mass communications and minor in graphic design. Now back to high school art. This is a drawing that I did in my high school art class, the same art teacher that I had in 7th grade. And once again, here I am visually expressing my thoughts and feelings at the time. This piece was about mental health and about feeling trapped as a Black woman during that time in America. In hindsight, I think my mindset was very deep at the time. I didn't realize it as I was creating the art, but looking back, I'm kind of like, I'm like astounded at my thought process at the time. It's like, girl, you had a lot going on back then. Also, during this time, I started signing my name J. LeGrand. Prior to that, I was signing it by my middle name, Antoinette. And I went back and forth between Antoinette and J. LeGrand for many years. My artist name is still something that I am still struggling to make a final decision about. You will see some of my early works to say Antoinette, and then J. LeGrand, and now most recently J. LeGrand Emery. I did this color pencil drawing in my senior year in high school. It is a self-portrait reflection of when I was a baby versus my senior year as an 18-year-old about to graduate high school. This is a caricature of Prince. I've always been a Prince fan, and it's kind of ironic that later on in life that I created other artworks with Prince on it. This is a poster that I did in health class about teen pregnancy, and I did a drawing that was sort of an illustration of the photograph above. I was pleasantly surprised that my high school health teacher still had this poster in her classroom approximately 20 years later. She gave it to me, and it instantly reminded me of the person that I was back then in high school. This is a collage that I created about women in Black history. It has seen its better days, is fallen apart, but at the time I was so in love with this piece. It exemplified everything that I stood for. I felt like it was a piece that really represented me and who I am and who I was at the time and who I wanted to be. In fact, it shows a lot of women that I still admire to this day. And looking at it now is bringing me so much inspiration for an art show that I am currently working on. It just sparks so many ideas of some new pieces that I can create, and brings me so much joy to see this collage. Black history has always been a subject matter that I'm very passionate about. I have displayed it in my artwork from a very young age and even up until this very day. My very first acrylic painting was of this movie poster of Jason's Lyric. I loved the movie at the time, and I thought that it was a beautiful scene to paint. I wish I still had the painting, but at that time I didn't think as highly of my work, and I have no idea what happened to it. This is a drawing of Dr. Martin Luther King I created in my basic drawing class in college. I used pastels, charcoal, and graphite. I also drew this couple kissing in charcoal in the same class. Here's another pencil drawing from my drawing class in college. And this is an acrylic painting I did for one of my closest friends that dates all the way back to my high school years. She is a member of the Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, and this was a graduation gift for her. I'm a huge Lauryn Hill fan, and this is a illustration that I created in my illustration class. This is another acrylic painting that I did in my illustration class. Looking back on this, I know that I had trouble trying to blend colors back then. Her face, that was not intentional. I just didn't know how to blend. This was another drawing I did in my illustration class, and this one I used color pencil. Even though back then I thought I was pretty good in color pencil, looking at it now, I realized that I could have layered this a lot more and blended the colors a lot better. Here's another illustration of a graphite drawing that I did, where basically I created a tree that had metamorphosed into a woman. Here's a pastel drawing that I did of a couple getting married. Here's another pastel drawing that I did, and this was after college. Because of the fact that I didn't get to major in art like I really wanted to, and I never really had painting classes and felt that I needed to learn how to paint, I also did better in my graphic design classes than I did in my major, which was mass communication. Because of all that, I was very confused about what I wanted to do after college. I knew that I did not want to go into journalism, so I thought, well, maybe it would be a great idea if I can get a job teaching art and possibly work as a basketball coach. I took this long, roundabout way of becoming an art teacher that I'd rather not go into details about right now. But more specifically, I went back to college at the age of 30 and took a drawing class, printmaking, painting, ceramics, and sculpture. This specific drawing was the first drawing that gave me the confidence to believe that I truly could make a career out of my art. I received the Director's Merit Award at the Student Art Show, and from that point on, I knew deep down inside in my heart that I could do this if I just applied myself. This is a block print that I made from magic erasers in my printmaking class. I call it African Comb. This piece is called Colorblind that I made in printmaking. It's a woodcut. And this one is an angel with the banjo and an angel with the drum. It is a lino cut 3-color print that I made in printmaking class. This is a lino cut that I made in printmaking class also. Is 2 women making a quilt. It's called Sisters Heritage Journey. And then I have a aqua tint copper plate etched for self-portrait, and a metal sculpture of a tree I made in sculpture class. This is a raku fired pinch pot and a coil pot that I made in ceramics class. This is a bust I made using the combination method of pinch for the head and coil for the body. The figure is wearing a necklace that my mother made, and I named this piece My Mother's Pearls for that reason. This coil pot made me fall in love with ceramics. I made this in my ceramics class, and this particular piece I'm extremely proud of. It is my favorite pot that I've ever made. This is another pot that I'm proud of that I made in my ceramics class. I did the carvings that were inspired by Southwest art, and the slip is actually called On Globe. I made many other pieces in my ceramics, drawing, printmaking, and painting classes, but these are the ceramic pieces that I'm most proud of and that I would never sell. This still life painting, although it's, in my opinion, so okay, made me realize that I really don't like painting landscapes and objects that much. I quickly started painting portraits. I wanted to get better at blending skin tones. And over time, I realized that oil paint works better for me when it comes to painting portraits. It gives me more time to layer and blend. And I think that I gradually have gotten better over the years. You will see a lot of different paintings that I have created over the years in oils mostly. Some of them were for my Painting 2 class. Others were after I went back to college for the second time. And I painted this portrait in 2013. I realized that I really wanted to pursue being a professional artist, and I started painting more, but yet I started teaching, and teaching started consuming my life, and I was not putting forth the amount of time that I could have in my paintings. I could see the improvement over the years, but I know that deep down inside, if I paint more often, that my paintings are going to improve even more. In 2016, while working full-time as a teacher on Saturdays, I took a watercolor class, and these are the pieces from my watercolor class. Overall, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to make the time to create a lot more often. I realize that life is short, and if I want to accomplish the goal that I set for myself at 12 years old, that I'm going to have to make the time to put in the effort to reach the maximum potential that I possibly can reach. Now, how I'm going to do this exactly, I have no idea. All I can say is that I'm gonna try. And making this video right now is my way of trying. It's my way of documenting my journey to show how far I have come and to eventually show where I'm going. And I'm hoping that you guys will want to follow me and come on this journey with me, because I just have this feeling that it's gonna be extraordinary, and I just can't wait. Looking back on all of this work and knowing how far I've come, and then knowing my potential is there, it just excites me. I just get all riled up and just ready to go and just do it. That's just it. I just have to do it. At this point, I'm tired of talking about it. It's like I just need to be about it and just get it done. Andy Warhol once said, "Don't think about making art, just get it done." Let everyone else decide if it's good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. While they're all deciding, make even more art. I need to take that advice. I have all the tools I need to accomplish my dream. I've done all the research, have the business plan. I have all the supplies that I need. I've even started over 30 works of art that I haven't finished. I've taken classes online. I have bought classes online that I haven't even started to use yet. I have canvases and panels, paper, paint galore, like more supplies than I believe that I even have time to use before they go bad. And I'm at the point now where our apartment is overflowing with art supplies. I have reached my maximum in buying supplies. I have turned buying supplies into my second career versus creating art. I'm done. I'm done with that trend. It's time to show the world what Jabina LeGrand can create. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm just speaking out of frustration right now. It's not necessarily about me showing the world what I can create. It's about showing myself that I can do it. It's about reaching my goal. It's about leaving a legacy behind. It's about making an impact on this world. I know I have made an impact on my students' lives. But I also have this urge and sense of desire to create and leave something behind to show that I was here. So on that note, I need you all to hold me accountable. I have plans that I absolutely must finish. For one, I am creating art for an art show that's going to start in February of 2024. And I want to document that process and share it with you and share video footage of the art show. I also am planning to complete several online courses that I have purchased that I need to go ahead and learn from and do the process, create the art. And I have plans to finish all of those unfinished pieces that I've started years ago. So I'm creating this series called Finish the Unfinished on my YouTube channel. And you can see some of these pieces of sketches that I have drawn out that I'm planning to paint, or I started painting them and I never finished. Well, I want to finish them on this channel. Mainly just to force myself to go beyond the point where I get stuck. And that's basically what happens sometimes, that I'm working on something and it's not coming out like I want it to, so I get stuck and stop. In addition to that, I seem to find every excuse in the world to block me from doing what I most love. And I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm afraid of success. Not failure, but success. Because too much is given, much is required. And it will require me to live up to a certain standard, to have great responsibility. And maybe I'm just afraid of succeeding because I'm not so sure if I can keep it up. I don't know. That's something I need to think about. I'm beginning to think that that could be part of the problem. So what do you guys think? Comment below your thoughts on the topic. I would love to hear what you may have to say if you've experienced this in your art journey. If you're experiencing it now, what did you do or what are you doing to work towards not procrastinating and not giving up on yourself? Any words of encouragement is encouraged to leave in the comments. If you stayed and watched to this point, I appreciate you so much. If you like this video, if you want to come on this journey with me, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your interactions with this video means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. But if you're still here, the video is not quite over yet. This mixed media piece called Fearless exemplifies the direction in which I'm trying to go in with my art. I am planning to make a bigger version of it that is slightly different. This is part of my technique by creating a sample in my sketchbook and then the plan is to make a bigger version on canvas or wood panel that I will exhibit in an art show. So what you can expect from this channel is watching me paint many of the unfinished works that I've already started on, and also creating mixed media art journaling pages to practice or illustrate the technique that I'm going to use in a larger painting. These are some of the examples of the many pieces that I plan to finish, and I hope that you guys will follow me on this journey, because I have a lot to express and show, and no matter what, I am not giving up. Even if I may take a break, I'm not giving up. As you can see from these many unfinished pieces, that I have a lot of work to do, and I just can't wait. I cannot wait to see the outcome of these paintings. And here you can see the many, and I have counted them. It's a number that you don't want to hear. Canvases that I need to put art on and sell. So stay tuned, because my future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Even if I don't make y'all laugh, I crack myself up sometimes. Bye, y'all.